Congratulations, you're now a millionaire. After creating a monopoly in the city of NTE, you finally have achieved your lifelong dream. And as a millionaire, you have the duty to fulfill. And that duty is to spend as much money on things that you don't really need. For example, like a very expensive car or outrageously priced Pokemon cards that, may or may not be fake. Or maybe an apartment that costs millions upon millions of dollars in the downtown area of the city. Because, you're now a millionaire, so you can do whatever you want. And, you can't really buy apartments in the big 2026 because that really isn't feasible in the real world. So, hey, why not have the experience of home ownership in the city of NTE? My name is Yomi, and this is the full apartment guide in Neverness to Everness. So before owning an apartment, you of course have to buy an apartment. And luckily, NTE has a couple of options for you to choose from. So if you go to your phone and you hit the City Tycoon, you would see a tab here, it says property. And when you click into it, you can see the 5 apartment options that you can choose from. So of course, each apartment varies in prices. So we got, the cheapest apartment called the Wiener apartment. I don't know who named that, but sure. But this apartment will cost you around $200,000. And then these of course goes up in prices. And the most expensive one is the Feng Lin Villa, which is $8 million. So these, if you want to know how to get these quickly, so these honestly are just called fonts in the game. So if you want to know how to get these quickly, check out my video on, how to get fonts quickly. But each apartment of course has a different property type as well. So we got from large to triple large properties, and each apartment of course comes with different sets of features. So for example, if you have the smallest apartment, you would only be able to invite one companion to live with you. So this means that you can only invite one character that you own to go into your apartment. And for the Fenglin Villa, of course, you can invite up to 5 people for you to live in your house. Now you might be thinking, how do you invite the characters to live in your house? So for example, right now I'm in the Skyview Hall, so I can choose up to 2 person to invite to my apartment. So if you click invite, you would see, these right now are the 5 options that you can invite to your apartment. So Natalie, Mint, and then also these other 3 characters. So if I pick Fadia, invite to move in, and then also the second one, I invite Ju Yuan to move in, and now they should appear in the apartment. Yep, there you go. And now that they are in your apartment, you can do, a couple of interactions with them. And you might see when you are trying to interact with them, some of these will be locked. And these interactions, of course, are going to be able to be unlocked after, you level up, your character's bond. So if you go to the bond menu, then you can see, for example, Ju Yuan at bond level 2, it unlocks the passenger seat feature. At bond level 4, it unlocks basic interaction actions, and then you can also invite G1 to visit your home, and also it unlocks that they can encounter. And then of course at level 6, it will unlock G1's special interactions. So special interactions of course is going to be these 3. So sit back to back, hold hands, and hug. Now the solo actions would basically require you to have specific features that your apartment has. So for example, if your apartment doesn't have a bed, then G1 won't be able to sleep on the bed. For more examples, if your apartment does not have a built-in swimming pool, so I believe the Wiener apartment doesn't have a built-in swimming pool, then you won't be able to have G1 play in the pool. One big thing I want to talk about, it seems like male characters still don't have the option to be able to invite to the apartment. So for example, if we go to Mint and we go to level 4, here's the option to invite Mint to visit your home. But if we go to a male character, for example Adler, then on level 4 it doesn't give you anything. And it seems like these symbols with a heart on them, ends at level 2. So the maximum that you can do with any male characters is just to, unlock the passenger feature. So the next one I want to talk about is the Anomaly Furniture. So each apartment has different Anomaly Furnitures except for 2. So this foam box right here, which the effects are pretty self-explanatory. It's just the fast teleportation to the property. And also this owl right here, which is the cuckoo alert that clears your warrant when you enter your property. So basically, even if you have a 5-star or 6-star warrant level, once you teleport or enter your property, then your wanted level immediately clears. This is where the similarity ends within each apartment, and the other Anomaly Furnitures are going to be different. So for example, for the Wiener apartments, there will be a fluffy cotton available, which has no effects, by the way. And the Wiener apartment also has the paper plane, which reduces deployed characters' climbing stamina cost. And to unlock these Anomaly Furnitures, there's going to be conditions that you have to do. So, if you want to unlock the paper plane Anomaly Furniture, you will have to take one photo of a paper plane. While other apartments, for example the Skyview halls, may have different Anomaly Furnitures, like this empty shell, which increases deployed characters' defense. So each apartment has their own different kind of Anomaly Furnitures. Of course, some share, same kind of Anomaly Furnitures, while others do not. So pick and choose which one you think would help you the most. So the next one we have is the furniture collection. So if you click on this tab right here, then you see all the furnitures that you have collected by playing the game, basically. So if you want to obtain a furniture, you can just buy them from a shop from a district. So this is a home decor shop where you can just buy any furniture you want, and you can decorate your house in any way. And there are actually quite a few things to choose from. So you can go from like having a basic ass chair to having a whole ass aquarium in your house. And getting these furnitures actually does give you some rewards. So if you collect enough furnitures, you will be able to unlock rewards such as the DSD Gacha ticket. Now you might be thinking, I don't really care about the rewards. I wouldn't put that many furnitures in my house anyways. But having more furnitures does also increase your house's comfort level. So for example, you can see here, a normal chair has 12 comfort level, while an aquarium, which is of course a higher tier item, has a comfort level of 96. So now you might be thinking, how do you actually, place the furnitures that you have in the house? So if you see on the middle top right there, there's a little bar that shows 4 symbols. So the first symbol of course is the invitation of characters that you have in your house. So right now I have Fadia and Juyuan. If you click open the menu right here, so it gives you the wheel mode, and then on the right hand side you will see all the options that you can do with your apartment. So underneath the X symbol, this is where you place your furnitures. So for example, if I want to place a large sofa, I first press the large sofa icon, then I can move the sofa around, and then you can also change the camera's rotation, and also having the camera go up or having the camera go down. I know this is not going to be the final build, but let me just put this sofa right here, and after you pick wherever positions you want to put your sofa, you press confirm, and then your furnitures will forever be there. And these of course extend to chairs, beds, tables, cabinets, and also folding screens. And besides the normal furnitures that you have in the house, you can also put in pots, vases, record players, fish tanks. So this is where the aquarium comes in. Paintings, large figurines, decors, crabs, instruments, the whole Nile is in your goddamn apartment. Also, you have a different plethora of options, so you can snap to grid. So when you place a furniture, you see if they are aligned with the grid. Of course, you can also display the rotational guide. So if you use this bar underneath here, this is in Chinese, but it's just say the angle of rotation, then you would know which way you're rotating. And if you don't like how you are decorating your house, you can reset decorations. So resets all decorations, erase your current furniture placement, or you can store all furnitures, so resetting the apartment to its default layout. And of course, the option to customize your apartment extends to the dining room, the study, the bedroom, and if you have one, the balcony as well. And the comfort level right here, you can see in the the 8,718th, the comfort level really just gives you rewards from the property renovation guide. So it's right here, where if you get like, reach house comfort 60 or reach house comfort 240, then you get fonts and also like these streamless seeds. And the property renovation guides is basically, how much time or how much stuff you put into your property, and if you reach these goals, then you'll get the rewards. Yeah, so this is basically pretty much it for everything I have to explain in the apartment guide. So if you excuse me, I'm gonna go to the pool with my girlfriends.